Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Show. You know, we want to hear from you. Remember, this is a live call-in show. You can call in anytime. Phone number is 800-808-5548. Again, call in, ask us a question about anything you want to hear about the burbs. You know, and next up right now, we're going to stay on the north side. We're going to switch over a little bit. We actually have Judy Hayes. Judy, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you.
You know, now you're up there in the Kingwood area, Kingwood, Porter, Splendora, Humble. You cover that whole area, a lot of exciting stuff going on. Let us know what's going on in the area.
Well, definitely. Kingwood, you know, it's always commonly been known as the livable forest, still is, still a great place to live. It has the green belts, large trees, shopping, restaurants, and just like the Woodlands, you don't have to leave Kingwood. Pretty much anything that you want is right there. Kingwood Hospital is growing substantially. It is very, very large in our community right now, along with Lone Star College. Their growth has been substantial with new students coming in and deciding to stay home for the first 2 years of their college before they go off. So that is making the area very strong and growing a lot.
And Kingwood's interesting. Kingwood, for the long time, it's been a really known subdivision. It's been around for a long time, the livable forest. But then a lot of growth has happened since then. Obviously, if you move north a little way, you have Oakhurst right off of 59. You've got a new park that's going on actually a little bit further north. I'm going to let you talk for a little bit. Then down south side of things, you've got Humble and you've got Fall Creek. You've got Generation Park. You have a lot of activity that 10 years ago wasn't there, and now all of a sudden Kingwood is just in a stratosphere of its own.
Exactly. So it has something for everyone. And like you said, a lot of custom home communities, if you want to build your house and have a little bit of space, 1 to 10 acre tracts, you can go to Northcrest Ranch, you can go to the Commons, you can go to Riverwalk and have a little bit of space, but yet you're still close to Kingwood to have those amenities. Additionally, the Grand Parkway is the biggest thing that's happening out there, which is going to connect Kingwood to the Woodlands, and it's going to be about a 15-minute drive to get there, and they are looking at that being open about 2015. That is going to be phenomenal for our area and our growth.
I'll tell you, you know, right now I take 13, 14, cut all the way across, and then grab up there. Let me tell you, it's not a bad drive, but you put now the Grand Parkway as a conduct, or, you know, a conduit between those two. You're talking about a lot of activity going on, and what you mentioned, a lot of people are living out in the Kingwood. They like the lifestyle. They like the lake living style out there. They like the fact you can go build in half acres and acres very easily. You've got also a lot of acreage up in Porter, up in Splendora, up in Cleveland. You're seeing a lot of activities also in individuals moving out to get more space. Is that correct?
Yes, we get a lot of calls into our office that their exact words are, I don't want to touch my neighbor. I don't want to be necessarily in there. So we do have communities that either have no deed restrictions where they can build workshops, which are huge in our area. If you can build a workshop, I can sell it to a man because he wants it. The women want the house.
Yeah, I always wanted a garage with a house attached to
Disclaimer, the Real Estate Rat Pack does not endorse touching your neighbor.
But if there's a garage
but you
and a
can
workshop,
reach out the window and get sugar.
Right. They want to be able to park their four-wheelers, their gators, their boats, their trucks, because they're big when you're out in the rural area, so they certainly like that.
Well, I don't know what pull Humble, who's out there that has the contacts with the Department of Transportation. I moved to Humble in 1985. I'm not even joking when I say that 59 was 2 lanes, 1 lane going, 1 lane coming. 1960 was 2 lanes. I think there may have been a red light at 59 in 1960. I wouldn't be surprised. And now it's like 10 lanes, HOV, 7 lanes for 1960. We got this Grand Parkway thing happening. Somebody lives out there with contacts in the Department of Transportation. I think so.
Well,
and aren't you glad?
And with all the activity going on that
please.
Judy's talking about, let me tell you, I go up there all the time, and it's one of the most pleasant drives because there's no traffic going out there. I mean, it's just amazing.
It's insane that you can, at any time of day, make it. I can hop on 59 and be downtown in 15 to 20 minutes.
That is one of the best features that I have. I deal with a lot of relocation clients, and actually when I leave the show today, I'm dealing with a gentleman moving from Pennsylvania. So they're working on the Loop area, and the first question I get, they don't know our area, is about where they work and the commute, because if you haven't lived in the fourth largest city in town, you don't understand what this traffic is like around here. And so they depend on their real estate agent to advise them of that and let them know. And it is definitely the best freeway in town to get to downtown, the medical center, and even the Galleria. You do have to still get on the loop to go there, but
and geographically, we are larger than the other three bigger cities,
Right.
population-wise. So it's a huge land area.
Also, there's something new going on there. Generation Park is another major upcoming attraction and destination spot, especially for businesses, that is going on not too far away from there. Is that correct?
That is correct. It's going to be right at Beltway 8 and Westlake Houston Parkway, which is knocking on the door of Summerwood, which is a very, very nice, large community out there. It's going to have easy access to get on the Beltway to go wherever you want. It's going to be an energy corridor where they're trying to get business destinations to come in there and be able to push those businesses towards our area out in the north.
That was something, as you see, that everyone right now, obviously we have the energy corridor on the west side of town right now, but what we're really starting to see with the expansion of ExxonMobil up in the Woodlands, now we're seeing Generation Park on the northeast side of town right there. We're really starting to see infrastructure starting to spread out in Houston, and it's really bringing in a lot of individuals to diverse areas, things that we hadn't seen before. If you look at where Kingwood is today, and I use Kingwood as a broad term, Kingwood, Atascocita, Humble. In fact, Atascocita for a little while was named the #1 fastest growing city in the nation like 3 years ago. And the reason why is because it was so small but at that time, but it was way outgrowing its capacity. But you look at all those areas, and it's just phenomenal. You go up and down Westlake Houston Parkway, you go up and down 59, and you're seeing all the development. You're seeing all these new activities going on. And then you also have another park, if I'm not mistaken, or something that's going to eventually go on from an entertainment complex up off of 59 on the right-hand side. Is that correct?
They are in negotiations, talk of something at 242. It's in the general stages, but we do understand there's some sort of a park coming at that corner of 242 and 59. Not too much information has been released about it yet, but everything's positive so far.
Right, and if you were to tell me, you have to kill me, so I definitely understand.
I would like to state with regard to the energy, that's what's make Houston so strong. We know that. Energy and the oil and gas industry, that's why as the market was down, Houston still held its own. It wasn't where it needs to be, but it definitely held its own better than most people in the nation. So we're very fortunate to be in the city and have that. And like I said, the relocation people coming into it, the majority of them are in the oil and gas energy industry.
One of the things that we heard, obviously, from our guests a bit earlier in the Woodlands, we're seeing the same exact stuff going on in Kingwood, is the multiple offer situation.
Yes.
How do you combat that right now? What is your suggestion for all of our listeners out there listening? How would you suggest when a buyer engages with you and you're out there looking for a home, what are some best practices to try to ensure you can get them the best deal possible and get them a deal, period, without getting into 20 offers and $20,000 over list price?
Well, we definitely sit down with them and run the comps and make sure we're strong with them. We advise them that we're in a multiple offer situation and that they have to come in at their highest and best offer right off the bat, or they won't even be looked at. Some of the things that we encourage them is to make sure they go with a very well-known preferred lender so that the other agent sees that and they know that their loan's going to go through, because if their loan doesn't push through and it's a dead deal, then if it's not a reputable lender, the other agent on the other side knows that. They can advise their seller of that and not take that. We, of course, always want an option period to be able to have our inspections, and we would never not have one, but you may shorten it by a few days. Get your inspections done quickly so that the seller's not sitting there waiting for your option period. Like he was saying earlier, sometimes they get cold feet. Well, you don't want to do that.
The other thing you mentioned also, and I'm going to get back to that because it's a preference of mine, is a pre-approval doesn't mean running credit.
Exactly. It's a lot more to that, especially when we deal with a lot of people like myself and probably the majority of you in this room. If you're self-employed, it is a lot more than running your credit report. And you want that lender to have asked the questions that they need to ask, to have the loan application, and to make sure they have the backup to know that that is a good, solid loan. And if you're with a lender that has a preferred lender that you use all the time, you trust them and you know that they're not just handing you a sheet of paper that you can get when you go fill an online application.
No, and I tell everybody, use oftentimes, and I can say this proudly, use the preferred lender, for example, with Judy. Great company, great individual. Will get things done.
Exactly. We like it that way.
And who would that be, Chris?
I have no idea, but Willowbend Mortgage comes to mind, I guess. So.
Hey, I want to point out, I invited Judy, and just happened to be that Chris is Judy's preferred lender, but I invited her. She's my guest. So.
Yes, absolutely. I
you
thoroughly
off,
agree.
Chris.
I agree.
We can all be friends.
We're
okay.
all still friends. Let's get back to the other guests we've got in the room right now. Obviously, we're going to northeast, southwest. Guian also builds up in the area. You've got two great communities that you're building in up there. Obviously, you've got Park Lakes, and you also have Kings Mill. What are you seeing up in the Kingwood area?
They're totally sold out up there. Yeah.
And they're across the street from my office.
It looks like that because of the velocity, but there's plenty left there for everybody else. Kingwood has been great to us. It's one of our top-selling communities. For the first quarter, January through March, we've sold 17 homes up there. Fantastic market, averaging about 6 a month up there. We have a new section that just opened in Kings Mill, great community, and offer two different lines of product. We have a small product called the Premier. I say small. We start about 1,900 square feet, but generally about 2,500 square feet is the average. We've got the Classic Series, which is a little bit bigger, up to about almost 4,000 square feet. So we offer a lot of things. We're seeing a lot of good activity up there. We're just opening, in about 2 weeks, we're going to open Park Lakes in Humble, which we're very, very excited about.
What's the price point in Kings Mill?
Kings Mill, we're going to...
I'm actually looking at moving. So.
I know a good realtor you might call.
It's a lot of good
Let me put it this way. My wife is looking, which means
there you go.
I'm
You are.
looking.
Therefore, you are looking.
Yes.
We start in the upper ones and go to the mid-twos.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually
Can you
out
tell
in
her it was in
Kingsville.
the
It's
300 to
wonderful out
400
there.
range? Maybe just if I...
We can make that happen. We can certainly do it.
No, these are $500,000, baby. I promise.
And
I just got a great discount on them.
Right.
Guian
We're
is
tight like that.
Guian is across the freeway from our office, so we have been in the office and seeing Lindsay a lot, my agents. She's very nice.
Very
we
cool.
really support our realtor community. I want to make sure I say that with an O-R, right, Rob?
That's
Realtor.
correct, realtor.
Realtor.
It's not realtor, because you're not a billiter.
And we appreciate the partnership with all the realtors in the area, and we credit, Lindsay's fantastic, one of our top salespeople. We credit the realtors for our success as well.
Well, we're going to come up against a break again. Judy, let us know how we can reach you if you don't mind.
Okay, I appreciate it. You can certainly visit our website, which is ReMaxRewards.net. My personal email is Judy@ReMaxRewards.net, and my cell phone is 281-881-0840, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions. I appreciate the opportunity.
That is ReMaxRewards.net. Great organization. Great ladies up there in the Kingwood, Humble, Atascocita,
Well,
Porter
one great
area.
lady.
Yes, exactly. We got one great one here in the office. For all those, we're coming against a break right now, but stay tuned. You're listening to The Burbs on the Real Estate Wrap Back Show.
The girl in the world is smiling, 'cause she's in love. The girl in the world is smiling, 'cause she